Hola amores, and welcome back to the channel. And to those who don't know me, I am Maritza, currently a graduate master's student in psychology. And today we are going to talk about if or should more ladies of all ages begin to join the escort industry. What do you think? Let's look at the psychological look behind the escorting industry. Let's get into it right now. So first up, my loves, we need to realize that with the cost of living of such highness where it is right now, we're seeing a lot more ladies of all ages more than ever consider the non-traditional ways of making money, all right, of making a living. Whether it's OnlyFans or high-end escorting or selling naked pictures online on social media or feed pictures or even posting, those half-naked pictures all the time everywhere. This is the lure way of making money nowadays. It's autonomy and it's fast capital. However, as a psychology student, let's look past the bank account and let's look at the internal architecture of a person. When someone asks me, hey Maritza, what do you think? Is it better if I become an escort or should I post pictures online? And me, I don't give them a moral answer. I give them a psychological audit. I'm going to break down the reality of the industry, the parts that don't show up on social media, the ones that do show up 5 years later in the therapist's office along the road. So the question is, should more ladies of all ages, any ages, begin to join the industry? And let's be honest, in an economically way, it seems a lot better to do it than to not do it. Do you agree? So today, let's be intellectually honest. There are many reasons why ladies choose this path. And for many, they do it as a way to escape the survival mode. And according to Maslow's hierarchy, if your psychological and your safety needs are not met, right, because you're drowning in debt and in problems, then because of this, your brain can definitely not focus on self-actualization. And escorting, selling pictures, working naked can provide a shortcut to financial safety. Additionally, it can be a masterclass to those who work in the field of social intelligence. You learn how to read people left and right. You learn how to negotiate and how to command in the room, because your room is your business. You're the master. You're the owner of this property. And for some ladies, this feels like a position of high power. But now, my friends, let's do something more. Let's talk about the toll that this can take up on your own identity. Because here's where the psychology gets heavy. To survive in the industry, most ladies or anybody who works here have to develop something called an identity fragmentation. And this is the one where you have to create what? You have to create a character to protect your own self. It's not you anymore. You are an actor in this world you live in. You protect your real self with your personality. And while this works as a defense mechanism, this also leads to depersonalization. Because when you spend 40 hours a week being a fantasy for other people, the line between who you are and what you sell begins to blur with one another. Over time, many ladies find it incredibly difficult to feel real in their private lives or even to experience genuine intimacy without feeling like they're on the clock, okay? Because by you selling your body all the time, you're selling a company. You're not just selling your time, you are leasing out your emotional bandwidth with whoever you give your body and your time to. Now, my friends, let's talk about what these types of jobs can do to the body and to the biology of the nervous system regulation that we need to survive. Even in high-end, safe environments, if you're working as an escort or somewhere selling some sort of your body, what happens? Even in safe environments, what you are doing is you are in a state of hyper-vigilance all the time because you are constantly scanning everyone for red flags, managing the client's mood, ensuring your physical safety is always met. And when your nervous system stays on the high arousal zone for way too long, the window of tolerance that you possess as a person begins to shrink. This can lead to chronic anxiety, to sleep disorders, and to the inability to relax, even when you're alone. Your body does not know the difference between a professional transaction and a potential threat. It just knows that you're under pressure all the time. And finally, let's talk now about the exit strategy. Because after some time of you having a career of selling yourself, you might get tired along the way. And this is the biggest hidden cost, is what's going to happen afterwards. And we have to agree that nowadays, even though society is becoming a lot more open on all subjects, all types of work, the professional industries are still left behind. So mathematically speaking, if you spend 5 years in the industry working, selling pictures, and making an active income, right, with your body, at the same time, you're not building any social capital, and you're also not building a professional network that carries over into other types of fields. And many ladies in the industry end up feeling trapped because after a few years, they're mentally exhausted of doing these type of jobs, of their face wrinkling, of their bodies going down, not feeling the same, getting depressed, getting anxiety. But at the same time, they cannot imagine going back to doing any sort of entry-level job with an entry-level salary. And even if they wanted to change perhaps careers because of everything I explained above, they don't have the experience to jump into a high-level, maybe corporate role, the ones that the other people have. So it's good to think about these things, that it's not just about the money you are making right now, it's about the opportunity cost of the skills you are not building elsewhere as a person, as a woman, or as a man if you're in the field as well. So my loves, is it better to join or is it not better to join? If you define better by a bank account balance, then maybe the short-term answer is yes. But if you define better as a peace of mind, as an identity integration and long-term career stability, then the answer becomes a lot more complicated. So my truthful, honest advice is to never make a permanent decision based on a temporary financial crisis without looking at the psychological price tag. And with this, we have reached the end of today's video, but I invite all of you to connect with me through Instagram. Go ahead and check out my other music relaxing channel here on YouTube and go and see the channel's membership just in case you may find it useful. Once again, I am Maritza, and know that I will try my best to continue always keep bringing you ways on how to create a better bond with yourself and a more meaningful relationship with all those around you. Mwah. Till next time. Ciao, ciao, my loves. Ciao, ciao. My amores.